Hey there, everybody. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to part two of our discussion, our chat with none other than Dennis DeYoung. And the reason why we're giving you part two is because we just had such a great time talking. We talked for like 90 minutes and Dennis is like, shit, I have another interview I got to do, but can we come back and finish this? And I was like, absolutely. So I was just about to tell Dennis a true story. So about like maybe, I don't know, 8 years ago, 9 years ago, I took my wife to see your old band Styx. They were doing the Grand Illusion Pieces of 8 tour where they played both albums back to back. So she's like, oh, cool. You know, I kind of like Styx, whatever. My wife is not into all the rock stuff that I am. But so we're sitting there and about like halfway through the show, she's like, how come they're not playing any of the songs that I like? And I'm like, well, what songs are you talking about? And she names like some of the, you know, like Babe and Don't Let It End and some of the stuff from Paradise Theater. I said, well, hun, those are not on these albums. But then, of course, they played the big hit, Come Sail Away. She's like, oh, I know that one. And after the show, because I thoroughly had a good time. And she's like, yeah, I don't know. I didn't really enjoy that as much. And like about 2 years later, I took her to see you and your band. And she's like, yeah, I enjoyed this a lot more. I mean, he still played some stuff I didn't really know, but he played all the songs I really like. And I was like, well, then I guess you like the Dennis sung and pen stuff the most.
What's your name?
Evelyn.
Evelyn.
Yeah.
I beg you to please help your husband. He seems like a very nice man. He has a deficiency. I think it's vitamin D3. But here's what I'm going to tell you, Pete. Play Babe around the house. You might get laid more.
I played Babe a lot around the house.
Okay, you play Gentle Giant. She's going,
oh, yeah, what? The Gentle Giant she doesn't get. Yeah, I played Gentle Giant. She's like, what the hell is this?
Well, listen, quite by accident. As I've told you about Babe, it was unintentional. Totally. If JY and Tommy hadn't been on vacation, which they were, Babe would have been a different song. There would have been guitars and power chords on the chorus. It would have been more like a Styx song. It's easy to do that. You know, it's a gimmick. How you arrange stuff, that's sleight of hand. You know, I've said this before, Yellow Cake, that's the song. Make it moist, tasty. Whatever you put on top of it, it's whatever you put on top. You want to put chocolate, you want to put vanilla, you like sprinkles, fruit, whatever you put, the Yellow Cake is the thing. That's the song. So with Babe, what's a power ballad? Let's talk about power ballads. To me, a power ballad, number one, see, here's why Stairway to Heaven cannot be a power ballad, by my definition. Who am I? I'm doing the interview. It's got to be about love or romance to qualify. Otherwise, it's a soft song that got loud. That's different.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So with Lady, for instance, people say, some people have asked, is that the first one? People are going to argue into the Carpenter song. I thought, no, that's a Carpenter song with a guitar solo. Well, what are you talking? Power chords. There should be some, well, at least there's a guitar player somewhere in the room who's playing something. That's the qualification. Now with Lady isn't, to my mind, a power ballad. Power ballads, as I've come to know them, are more like they're turgid. Somebody goes, the guitar player is standing over the chord. He goes, this asshole keyboard player is going to make me play this wimpy stuff. When I'm over, look at me. I've got testosterone. What am I going to do? Well, I'll play whole notes on power chord. Rome. That's arrangement. Take the power chord out of there. It's a ballad. That's the trick. So people who can accept a power ballad, it's debatable. They're being tricked by an arrangement. There's the guitar. Now, but Lady, that's a rock ballad. Not a power ballad. That ain't no fool. Hey, somebody going, Room. It's not an REO power ballad or a Journey power ballad, right? Yep. It's a rock ballad. There's over a guy. The guy who is not that crazy about ballads decided he brought his Marshall stack and I'm going to play something. right? I'm just not, you know what it is? It's fuzz tone. It's fuzz tone background. It's wallpaper on a ballad. That's what, you know, that's what those things, those power ballads have become. And it's a trick to make guys feel comfortable who think, well, will somebody give me a prostate exam if I like this? This is a thing. Am I making you laugh?
Yeah, well, because it's so true. I mean, there's so many rockers, you know, so many guys are just kind of like, never liked the power ballads. But
remember,
most, you know, and to a lot of us, myself included, at times in my life, my guilty pleasures are often those power ballads, because in most cases, they're great songs. They're memorable, you know, great vocals, great hook, maybe a tasty guitar solo, you know, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that.
Let me just say, Lady was me making something up without even knowing what I was doing. But it couldn't have been that way without JC going, ah! I know I can't even sing. And JY having going, yeah, I got to be heavy. That's an arrangement. It's an arrangement. I've done Lady acoustically. And I put like all this kind of like Baroque style playing, and the acoustics are playing, and it's the song. It just doesn't have the rock elements. Is the song different? For some, it will be. To me, it's the same song. It's just, you know, hey, let's do this. Let's go over to Lane Bryant and put a big dress on this fat girl. I mean, look, I shouldn't say that. Nothing against fat girls. They're lovely people. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's just window dressing, fundamentally. But you see, there's some rock songs. I don't know if you can do Girls Got Rhythm acoustically and have the same impact. I don't see, if you take the arrangement, there's some music, if you take the arrangement out, the song will be lost because it's based on a particular thing. You're not going to have disco music without thump, 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 the beat. But with ballads, here's what I found out. My uncle downstairs with me, Lee, he was 4 years older than me. And I grew up in the 50s. He was a real greaser, not a fake. Okay. He was like 6'3", 300 pounds, white t-shirt, Lucky Strikes rolled up, blue jeans that were stiff and blue with combat boots, real greasers. Okay. That would punch your face. And he loved Elvis. And so it was a house, 2 flat, 26 East. We lived upstairs. My grandparents and my uncle lived downstairs. He was like, so Elvis came by, what was it, 11? I don't even know, 10. He was 14, 15. And he could imitate Elvis. He could really do a good. He loved him. He idolized the guy. But for me, Elvis was, I heard Hound Dog. I said, wow. Then the next song I heard was Love Me Tender, as I recall. And I thought, I like them both. That's Dennis DeYoung. I like them both. Sue me. And that's what Lady is the song it is, and Babe is the song it is by happenstance. It's not like a thought process. Once again, the grand illusion is guys like us in bands know stuff that you and fans thankfully assign us. It's all bullshit. As I've said, we're just guys making shit up, you know, and the good stuff we make up makes us rich, and the bad stuff, we go back to barber college.
It's true.
Now, okay, so I'm doing this because I'm about to wrap this thing up, Pete. You know, this all talking stuff. I could get on, if I want to be on every radio show and every Zoom in the world, they'll ask me, because, you know, I've got the gift of gab, and I can be amusing. Even if you don't like me or agree with me, you got to say, well, the guy's kind of funny and looking. Let's talk. Ask. I'll answer.
All right. So is this it? Is this it? I mean, you mentioned earlier you're doing some stuff with John Anderson. So obviously there are other things in the works. So where do we go from here? So where does Dennis DeYoung go from here now that 26 East Volume 2 maybe puts the end to a solo career. What's next?
I've made the announcement. It's been misconstrued. Hey, I'm not retiring. God willing, and the creek don't leak, I'll be on the road next year. That's what I'm looking forward to doing.
Awesome.
But I don't know what the Delta variant is any more than you do. Okay? I will not put you, Pete, you and your wife, Evelyn. I don't want Evelyn coming, oh, he sings nice for, and his wife is on the stage. That's nice. I'm not going to risk both of you getting sick because I got to go out and be a show off. I'm sorry. Your health and mine are more valuable to me, you know, and I'm going to put me ahead of you.
As you should, as you should.
So if I have a studio, it still works. If I write a song that I like, and I think it's worthy of people, you know, weighing in on, I'll record it and I'll just put a song up once in a while. You got it? But to make an album, Pete, oh my God.
That'll work, yeah.
Let me tell you this. All you Styx fans who have decided to listen now, so you can argue amongst yourself who was the most important. Stop. It was a band. It wasn't about you people arguing about which of us was prettier. That's bullshit. It was a band. That's it. So when you're listening to this catalog of music, I want you to enjoy it. As I have said over and over again, if you like Italian sausage, don't watch them make it. Now, here's what I want to dispel right now. We liked each other. We really, truly did. We were together a long time. And the story that's been told for the last 22 years is a lie. You can watch it in a million videos. Watch how we are on stage with each other. You know, when bands don't like each other, they don't act like that. You've seen it. That was not us. We respected each other. We didn't have punch-ups. Never. We didn't scream at each other. Our voices were rarely raised against each other. We cooperated. That's how that music got made. And it was the proudest thing in my life. The fact that I'm not in the band, haven't been in the band for all these years, see, it's heartbreaking. You can imagine. I know when I did that chop job of behind the music, which was not fair to either parties. You know, I thought, what in the they just did that for sensationalism, to get people to watch, and it worked. People love watching these people. Yeah, well, let's look at these assholes. I want him. He's one. That one's lying. This one's. I never lied about anything, Pete. Ever. You can look at the history. It's there in print. I never made up any stories. What it was this. After having two successful comeback tours, 96 and 97. Did I discuss this already?
No, not yet.
Return to Paradise, the Grand Illusion. Every night, 9,000, 10,000 people to see us. Oh my God, never thought I'd see that again. Then I'm gonna make an album. I started to make an album, Brave New World. I got really sick. I'd never been sick like that in my life. I've discussed this already with you, haven't I?
Nope.
Okay, I'm a long hauler. Okay, I'm a long hauler. My eyes were hurt by that virus I had. I became light sensitive, and I didn't know what it was, and I couldn't get a doctor to diagnose it. I remember when I first got sick, 3 weeks, I got to go to the doctor, honey, I'm sick. I said, Doc, I lost my sense of taste and smell. You know what they did? They stared at me. I said, what is that? No one said. Oh, okay. So what happens when I get light is I feel like I'm getting the flu again. I feel fatigued, like I have no energy. I'm for almost a year, a guy like me, you've talked to me, you've seen me, did not want to get out of bed. That's not me. Where's the guy got a punch in the nose? That's me. So it crushed me. And so the two guys, there was three of us left, Tommy, JY, and me. Chuck was out. He had AIDS, full blown, and he was fighting for his life. It was just the three of us. And we're making Brave New World. And I said, guys, they want to do a tour. I said, please, I just discovered it's the light. I just need to get my strength back. They decided like human beings are certainly going to do. They didn't want to wait. In fact, Tommy actually said, I don't want to finish this album, Brave New World, if there's no tour. I said, don't be a tour. Let me just get. And so the two of them decided that they gave me an ultimatum: show up for this rehearsal date or we're replacing you. I couldn't
physically do it.
No, I could have gone there, but I couldn't have. And then I stood there for a few hours and had to lay down. I was getting better slowly. I still suffer from it. I pretend like I don't have it because I don't want you feeling sorry for me. I don't want to be felt sorry. Don't do that. People got shit. Pete, you got something. Right now, you got something. You're not telling anybody what it is. Don't. I don't want to know. So they went off and they did the thing. And so for me, I had to figure out something for myself, which I tried the best I could. And I've had a good career for the last 20 some odd years. But I had to, I didn't get to start with that 4-letter word. It's I always say that 4-letter word is the legal term. Styx is the legal term. You've talked to other bands, you know how this goes.
I hear it all the time. Yeah.
Okay.
I was telling you earlier how I talked to Lukather last week. He was telling me about the legal issues he's been going through with former members. And I mean, this whole story sounds exactly like the John Anderson story with when he had an ailment and the rest of the band was like, well, we're not waiting around for you. That sort of.
Look, some people in bands are easier to replace than others. And the singers are the hardest. Journey learned the lesson. Get someone who really, as close as you get to sound like who, yeah. Not Greg Rowley, who?
Yeah, Mr. Perry, that's
Pete
right.
Perry. And they go on. Do they say, we're not playing Open Arms and Faithfully?
That's not going to work.
Even Neil knows that's not a good idea.
Yeah.
What did Foreigner do? They went on, got a guy that sounded like as good as they could look. You can't replace Steve Perry and Lou Gramm for real. You're talking about that's God-given, those voices. Yeah. Lou's is as good as anybody from our generation. He can't be Lou anymore. Otherwise, I bet he'd be in Foreigner. Yeah. So people make decisions based on money and power. That's what they do. That's what happened to us. John Anderson, I saw the guy they put in this place. I went, Tish, yeah. And the audience went, Chris Squire, I didn't come here to watch him play bass. Just the bass players, right? And same thing with drummers. I like drummers. They're great. Some are better than others. But they came to see the band. They came to see the songs they love. Evelyn!
Are you listening, hon?
They came to see the songs they love.
Yeah.
Isn't that what I do when I go to a concert? Because I told you at the beginning, it's the songs. And then it's the singer. And then everybody else get in line. In some bands, it's the guitar player because Eddie Van Halen. But rare is that the thing. So anyway, what the hell were we talking about? Oh, you're going to tell about
shouldn't it have been then? I mean, it's not all right. So yeah, I mean, it happened, right? Yeah. They weren't willing to wait and they didn't, right? But I mean, so much has been said in the press about all this bad blood and everything like that. I mean, is it truly that bad? Have you not talked to these guys in 20 plus years, or is the door completely closed?
No, they closed it. I didn't. My door's been open forever. I wanted to be, listen, when they took the name and they ran out on the road and toured for 1.5 years and didn't give me a dime, yet I'm one of the 3 owners of that name. I didn't do anything, but people told me to do something. Stop them. I said, I can't sue Styx. It's like suing myself in my own mind. Then I saw behind the music. And then they did something that was, in my opinion, a disservice to the fans by relitigating Kilroy and Babe from 27 years before. This after we're in the studio making an album together and 2 wildly successful comeback tours. what does Roboto and Babe have to do with 2000? Yep, here's the thing. In my opinion, that's a good story to tell. All you proggies, all you rockers who never liked the changes that Styx made in their music. He the one what done it. Yeah, but what does that got to do with right now? Because it's a better story than saying this. You know, we don't know if DeYoung's sick. We don't know if he's actually going to be able to tour ever. And we would like to keep making money and being on stage. Now, do I fault people? Say, hey, I got to keep making my dough, and I don't fault them for that. But there was never a need to use me as a vehicle to tell millions of fans that the music that we tried to collectively tell them to embrace was a mistake and they shouldn't like it. That's just not right. And it's, forget about Dennis. It's wrong for the image of the band, and it's wrong for the fans who will say, you know, and look, the greatest disappointment, I'm doing so many Zooms, Pete, stop me. But the greatest disappointment is fans yelling at each other for 20 years. I told them in the beginning, stop. You're breaking my heart to do that.
It's still happening to this day. I mean, I can't tell you, I've reviewed both new albums, which came out a week apart. And there in the comments section of each video are the two sides of fans battling it out. I'm like, we know what's gone on, but can't we just like all of it? Why does there have to be this taking sides thing, right? I mean, it's just,
yeah.
it's
I think it's almost like politics.
Yeah, it's almost like that's the way society is nowadays, right? Regardless of what it is.
I'm in that club. I'm in this club.
Yeah.
And for people, fans who I love and respect, to be saying things on, when they say things like, DeYoung, I hate him, he ruined the band, okay? Or to see, I hate Tommy Shaw and James Young, they're poo-poo faces. Do you think either that makes me happy? No, it sure doesn't. I don't want to see it. I didn't start this thing in my basement to have people say those kinds of things. It's the opposite. I wanted people to love us. And, you know, people will come out and say, well, you know, one side will say, well, you know, Dennis, blah, 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 blah. And I will say, after Pieces of Eight and Cornerstone and Crystal Ball and all the other albums before that, we went and did Cornerstone. Pete, I'm sorry to tell people this, who dug their heels in, the two most watched videos on YouTube. Because that's just the public, Pete. That's not you. You're down deep in this shit. You know stuff. And it's not even the hardcore fans. They're down deep. It's people who heard Lady on the Radio or heard Renegade. Hey, I like it. That's all they care. They're not going, who was that? Who did that? How tall are they? Do they have nice hair? They got a cute butt? No, these are just people that like that song.
Yeah.
So to divide it like that it's cruel to all of us to have gone in it, have it gone in that direction, but nobody can stop it apparently. Although I was silent for a number of years. Well, they went and they told that narrative and I couldn't fight back. And I've changed the narrative. All you have to do is watch me. If you think I'm the tyrant of Styx, you're crazy and I can't help you. As I said in Behind the Music that angered people, I was the leader. I mean, I didn't walk in with the margarine crown on my head. Okay. But I wasn't a leader like, you do this, you do that. Okay. No, I said, you do what a leader does. How about this? You lead with ideas and you say, what if, and you try to persuade people with your personality and your real belief in the core thing of what Styx is. Okay, that's what I did. So, Grand Illusion, I think that was my idea. Pieces of Eight, well, I think that was my idea. Cornerstone, that was Tommy. He picked that title. Did you know that? No. That's Tommy says, what if we call it Cornerstone? I said, they're cool. Okay. Paradise Theater, I think that was me. Kilroy, oh no, he said the word. Yeah. Because I said, guys, what about this concept? And then I come in, what about, we just made a lot of money between 77 and 78. We made so much money. We went, my father will never make this money that we made in 1 year. And I thought, how did it change us to make that money? Pieces of Eight. You see, that's how I led. I said, what do you think it is? How about if we do a theater with the thing and this comes out and there's a janitor going this way? These are just ideas. That music could have never been as great without all of us or all of our songs. That was a great band, deserved to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, unquestionably. The songs we wrote. So I just think, and I go, guys, stop it. Just stop this. I can honestly tell you this. Of all the songs written, there isn't one song by one of the other guys, whoever they happen to be, where I can honestly say something derogatory about. I don't feel that way. There's a Styx song. We did the best we could when we were doing it. I can tell you the songs I wrote that I don't like, I already have. But that's about me, not about us. Not about us. Us was sacred to me. And so I don't want people to hate JY or Tommy. I don't. And I certainly don't want them to hate me. I want them to rejoice in the music that those clowns made together. I'm off my soapbox. Next question.
The 90s reunion albums. How happy are you with the way they came out?
You mean the live thing at Rosemont?
The studio records.
The live album?
No, the studio albums like Brave New World.
Brave New World. No, it was a shitstorm. The fracture was there. Here's the story. We start with good intentions. I was so sick. Tommy sent me demos. And I was feeling sorry for myself. And I felt I'd lost my talent. Because when you lose your health, it plays on your mind. Why can't I find a doctor who can help me? That kind of a thing. Any of you people out there have known people or been in that position where you got something and you can't figure out what it is. The first thing they say is, this motherfucker's nuts. Okay. People don't want to be sick. Okay. And I certainly didn't. So he sent me these songs. I'm going, oh my God, these songs are great. It was like being in my house, crystal ball stuff. There's crystal ball, there's ballerina, anything. That could be good. So I'm thinking, I call him up. I said, man, these are great songs. Okay, let's start. We started working. He'd come here and then I wouldn't go there. I wouldn't leave the bedroom. I had a studio down in the lower level of my house. Actually, it was on the first floor. And they would work. And Gary Loiser, we brought a board in and we were trying to do this and that. We bought a board together. It's that one. And we started trying to do this record, Brave New World. And then the thing about the tour came up. We had a meeting. We were like halfway through the record. Tommy wanted a tour. I sort of, why? Like a year and a half earlier, we toured in 97 because we were supposed, when we came back in 95, it was an accident. You know that story? A&M says, we want a real greatest hits album. We can't get Wood Nickel to give us the rights to do Lady. I went, oh, well, we record it.
Yeah.
I called up Tommy. What are you doing? You want to do this? You weren't on the original. Here's a chance. I have video of this. It'll break every Styx fan, if they saw it, tears would roll down their faces. I'm starting to feel verklempt right now talking about it. We have home movies. I hired a guy to come and shoot us. Tommy pulls into my driveway. We haven't seen each other in years. JY, he's in the car with you, and we hug in and we go in there. and we go in the back by my piano, and I'm playing, and we're singing all these Styx songs, laughing. The microphone was set up in my foyer because it's a 2-story foyer. There's the 87, the 3, Mo, Larry, and Curly get around the microphone, and then we sing, lay, those 3 voices. They come together. You would be on your knees if you saw it. That's how special that is. There's nothing like it. I've got it. I don't watch it because it makes me ill to see it. And so they said, would you guys go on Regis and Kathy Lee? No, they said, will you promote this record? Now, remember, Tommy, I think he still has some tentacles to Uncle Ted. I'm not sure. There could, I checked to make sure that Tommy didn't have a loincloth. So JY, he's been wanting to do this. He wanted to replace Tommy. You know that. In 1983, did you know that?
I had heard rumblings about
No, no, let me just tell you. No, Dennis, he can't quit on us. I said, JY, he did. So it wants me to replace him and the Panazzos, because we planned to go out in 84 with an outdoor stadium tour. I promised my buddy JY, if he supported me on Kilroy, I'd give him that stadium tour, because I don't like stadium tours. I don't like them. I mean, there's a joy in the spectacle, but I played enough of them to know they're a little distracting to me. I was an asshole. I should have just played them. So, telling you now. So I promise you. And then he says, what about the stadium tour, JY? I said, we're going to go put somebody in Tommy Shaw's place and play a stadium tour. I'm waiting for you to weigh in on that one, Pete.
How can you replace Tommy Shaw on that? I mean,
who would that be?
Yeah.
I thought, do you know who Tommy Shaw is to this band? That's my first thought was, when you're on stage and you're playing, are you noticing? So I said, I ain't doing that. Because as the leader, pardon me, kids, I don't want that responsibility on my shoulders. Regardless if Tommy decided he wanted to go do a solo album, let him go. Go do your thing, then come back. Get it out of your blood.
That's the way it worked back then, right? Yeah.
It didn't work that way. He made 3 of them.
Yeah.
So we're back together again. And in 96 and 97, we're making this album. And then we'd have a meeting about touring. And I said, give me a little more time. And then Tommy calls me up and says that he doesn't think there's any point to finishing Brave New World without a tour. Well, the record company didn't like to hear that. So we were kind of forced into finishing it. And as they sent me stuff they were doing by themselves in California, and I was doing by myself here, they needed me. I needed them. We needed each other. And that's what Brave New World is. I like to think I was the guy that could take James Young and Tommy Shaw and Dennis DeYoung, take their ideas and their songs and music and make it Styx music. Not by myself, but just going, let's bring this stuff together. Okay, there's a babe once in a while. Oh, there's a boat on the river. Okay, Jay, what? It's not Styx. There's lots of stuff, but it's got to be good songs. So Brave New World, as excited as I was for Tommy's music, I didn't participate vocally. My voice is important in this harmony. It might be the most important voice. I'm sorry, Pete. It might be. I mean, you can listen to Renegade in the beginning. Cool, huh? That's me and Tommy. It's not JY. But if my voice is in there, it will sound like Styx because I have been the most prominent voice as the lead singer. So when you hear it, you go, oh, I know what that is. So when I struggle sometimes to make that harmony on my records, I know why. It's those 3 people.
Yep. Yep.
Okay. So that's why Brave New World, and I begged them. The last time we talked, the Children's Miracle Network show, you can go on YouTube and watch it. I was sick, but I made a commitment to that charity to play. And so I flew down to Orlando. By the way, while I was sick, boy, it sounds like the Dennis DeYoung show. It is, isn't it?
It is. Yes, it is.
Oh, fuck off. Tommy he did 7 Deadly Zens in that time between, right? Remember that?
Yep.
He called me. I was coming to Chicago to Borders. And he said, would you stop by? It's about an hour from my house. Okay. So I go down to Borders. I drive there. I hadn't sung, played, done anything in months. And I sang with him. It's on YouTube. Did you ever see that shit?
No. I'm gonna check it out.
Sweet Man in Blue. Go down. Shaw DeYoung, Borders, boom. I just walked in with I'm looking not good. I have my Bermuda shorts on, and I look like a tourist in Miami Beach getting ready to go on a cruise. But the minute he plays and I sing and we sing together, I'm sorry. That's why you pay to get in.
Yeah.
This is what you pay your money for. So, and then we started making the album. And at the Children's Miracle Network, we hadn't talked for months. And I know Burtnick was lined up because Chuck was sick. And I knew they had gotten Gowan to replace me. We played that last show. Burtnick played bass. You look at that band and you go, no, those 3 guys, they should be in the same room. They should be in the same room. Tens of millions have said so.
Yep.
So when it's over, I tried to just talk Tommy into don't release the album because I'd heard it. I said, we've got to go back, spend 2-3 more weeks. Let's fix it together. Okay. Nope. You like Brave New World?
Not really. It's got some good moments. It doesn't sound very cohesive though.
That's because we're good.
Yeah.
But it's the cohesive. Even if you listen to Babe and Boat on the River on Cornerstone, sounds like a Styx album. Remember, the first song is Lights. That could be on Pieces of 8.
Oh, Lights is terrific.
Borrowed Time couldn't be on Pieces of 8. Take off Lords of the Ring. Let's put Borrowed Time on there instead.
Eddie could have been on any of the earlier albums as well. Yeah.
Love in the Midnight, that can't be on Crystal Ball.
Yeah.
So what do I say to my fans? Even Never Say Never or Why Me? Of course they could be on Styx albums.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's Babe, first time, Boat on the River. I'm thinking to myself, shut up. What you're responding to is success. Babe was so popular.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So I listened to Cornerstone. I didn't say, okay, let's move from Pieces of 8 to the Cowsills' greatest hits, for Christ's sake. Cornerstone still sounds like a Styx album. So Brave New World doesn't have that going for it. Okay. And that's just because I couldn't tour. No other reason. No other reason. What other questions do you have?
Well, I know we've been talking for quite a bit and I want to respect your time. So
wait a minute. Question. Am I making myself sound like too much of a hero?
No, I mean, you're being honest.
I'm telling you what happened.
Yeah, that's
now, people, are they gonna, they're not gonna say it didn't happen because it did happen. But let's understand this. When Tommy and JY said Dennis is not coming on the road, how do you blame somebody from saying we want to make money? You can't blame those guys for that. How do you blame them for saying we want to play 150 years a show, 150 dates a year? He doesn't. He only wants to do 100. Now I'm to 150. I thought, well, I can't really blame him for that. The hurt, the pain, and the disappointment is the personal and professional denigration that's taken place for no reason. That's hurtful. Only to turn around and play Mr. Roboto in your first encore position.
Yeah, I was surprised when I heard that. Yeah.
It was never, that's because you bought into, you drank the Kool-Aid. You thought there was some problem with Roboto. You know who brought the vocoder into the band and who did that part? Tommy.
Interesting.
But you don't know? Okay. I'm already. Hey, cool. Okay. We're making a song together. Roboto was not me. It was us. We mixed it. 6 guys are on a console. Okay. Because no automation. What did you screw up? I think maybe. Ah. Okay. Because everyone's got a job. We did that together. We did it 3 times, Roboto. 3 days each, 9 days separate, trying to mix Roboto because it was so different.
Yeah.
And the reason there aren't big guitar chords on it, because the point was this music is machines. We don't want to hear humans. We want to hear vocoders. And John played the drum. He played it real like a machine because the point was the technology was going to, the Lynn drum machine, it was taken over. That's why there's oh, look at me. I'm playing these notes and I'm jumping up in the air. The point was no. Music was changing. And I was trying to say, not really for the better. Now, what did Kilroy lack? Well, we need a renegade.
True.
And that's my fault. I was the big shot saying, well, we got to do this we're banning rock and roll. I should have said, Tommy, love you. You know the first song written for Kilroy? Just Get Through This Night. He demoed it in Japan in 1982 before we started the whole project. And he brought it in. And I keep telling people, you know the music that's on Kilroy? Pete, that was the music that was written. Nobody was saying, Tommy, don't put that bullshit renegade blue collar shit on the record. JY, don't write Miss America. Or those were the songs we wrote. So we recorded them. You know, there's this fallacy that somehow, well, we're going to keep that rock stuff off in favor of the mushy ballads. No, those are the songs we wrote. Like I said, when I told you, Boat on the River and Babe. I don't know if I finished that thought because I feel like an old man trying to figure out where his pants are. Boat on the River and Babe are the 2 biggest most viewed songs on YouTube.
Wow. Even Boat on the River. Babe, I can see. Boat on the River is kind of surprising. Great song.
Boat on the River's #1.
Wow.
He brought in the song. Watch now. Watch what I do with my hands. Never mind. Tommy said he was playing me songs he had ideas for. Never say never. Hey, cool. You know, and on and on. And then there was this Boat on the River, him just playing acoustic guitar and singing that song. I said, what's that? He said, it's not for us. I said, play it again. I said, that's pretty good. He said, well, okay. So we sat down, got my accordion. He got his mandolin. Chuck plays tenor, and we made a song. Most viewed video of Styx ever.
That's crazy. Never would have thought that.
What did I say? Oh, you know what that song is going to be? That's going to be a worldwide hit in all the Slavic countries.
Yeah, definitely.
I had no idea. No, I'm not that smart. I just went, that's good. That's all I said. That's a good song. And you'll sing it and people will love you, Tommy, because I've seen they love you. So,
favorite song that you have recorded in your career?
Yeah, there's nothing like it. I mean, Babe is actually Lady without power chords in a rock band, but Boat on the River is like, it's way out there. But a good song is a good song. All right, next question. Oh, volume 2, Near Genius. It just has some ballads on it. Go ahead, your question.
So
he bounced up again. Listen, do you think I could go tomorrow and make a prog album start to finish? Think I could if I wanted?
Do I think you could? I think you could.
Yeah, sure I can. Guess what? Doesn't interest me.
No, and that's okay.
You know how many times I've done it? I can do it, but I'm chasing the I'm chasing the song. Now I know people chase the style. That's you. And I respect it. Once again, music is so fat. It's this fat, big. Anyway, go ahead.
So again, I want to be mindful of your time, and you spent so much with us with us today. So kind of in closing, any last kind of thoughts on the album? I would love for you to touch on, you mentioned you're working with John Anderson. What is that all about? What can we expect of that? Because I think that probably is going to catch a lot of people's ears, and hopefully you got some tidbits you can throw our way.
John wrote a song called Everyone Wins. And as Sean McKee, his producer, he called me up and said, would you want to sing on this? There's other people singing. And so now John and I are kind of singing. The first verses should have turned out the way I think it will. We're unison singing. And so what I'm really doing, as I told him, is I'm recalling the time I sang All Good People when I was in a cover band. And so I'm just kind of singing with him. And then there's a harmony, and it's for Feed the Hungry. It's a big cause he's involved in. So there's that. But listen, volume 2, what can I say? It's, I want you to go tonight, not tonight, because you're going to say, if I never hear him speak again, I'll be fine. Read the lyrics, absorb them, Pete. They're about you, because you don't always have time. And there is no turning back time. How old are you? Are you 50 yet?
55.
Oh, you're dead. You might as well just kick it. And because I'm trying to tell the audience something about what I have been through and what's important to me, and trying to be honest, and trying to give you melodies you remember. And there's some proggy moments, or some hard rock moments. It's everything that I liked in Styx, including me singing a ballad. There really is only one love song on here, truthfully, but that's made for each other. Which, tell Evelyn, I always write at least one, because I like slap and tickle. It's still fun. Okay. And she cooks. She's a great cook. So, honey, this one's for you. All right. There's spaghetti marinara tonight for you. And this is life, you know? And in closing, I say, thanks for your time. It's been a hoot. I thank you for being a Styx fan. I like the fact that you like the Wood and Nickel albums. I think you're probably nuts, but
I do like the other ones better, though. But I think the Wood and Nickel stuff, there's a lot of good material on there, I think.
What's your favorite song from the Wood and Nickel era? Lady doesn't count.
Oh, it's easily Man of Miracles.
The song.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to ruin it for you. Go back and say this to yourself. Who makes that snare drum so dry and loud? Where's the kick drum? Why isn't the band?
Still a great song, though.
I know. Listen, I know. That's why you can't go back and re-record that stuff and make it better, because Pete will say, that sounds weird.
Yeah. I mean, there's just like, I mean, this is like a ferociousness of stuff like that, and Midnight Ride. And I mean, just this.
Midnight Ride's great. The Midnight Ride sounds great, is great. That may be my favorite JY song of mine off of Wood and Nickel albums.
So speaking of JY, before you go, I got to ask you. So you mentioned early on, like in part 1 of this, you talked about when you first met JY, you're like, wow, this guy is the shit, right? I mean, what a guitar player. Do you ever think that if JY wasn't in a band like Styx, that he could have been one of those guitar god guys? Because, I mean, he's a tremendous player. Or was that like not in his DNA, do you think? Because I think, you know, you guys had two. I mean, Tommy also is a fine guitar player, but them in Styx, it was always looked at more of like a band type of thing. It's not like, you know, Dennis or Tommy or JY are going to like lead the guitar player polls or the keyboard. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, but you look at JY, I mean, that guy, he's got it. He's got it.
He should have gotten himself in a band. No, I'm glad he's in Styx. I don't. Where he had a great lead singer, and he could have then been JY. He could have been very happy that way. Now, he joined Styx because he wanted to make some money. He's not. He'd tell you that. we had gigs.
Yeah. He wasn't going to make tons of money doing like the Frank Marino Mahogany Rush type of thing, probably, right? You know, but
call Frank. Well, to have JY and him compare their bank accounts.
Yeah.
I think Babe, there's some Babe money in that. So my point being, yes, he could have. I'm glad he didn't. And what was the other question about Tommy? Oh, one other question about JY, other than could he have been that? Then you went into something else.
Yeah, no, I was just thinking, like, could he have, you know, I think he could have been that Guitar Hero guy. Maybe he should have been anyway, even in Styx, right? And this is more of like the general public's interpretation of, because there were plenty of Guitar Hero guys who were in bands that, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I know nobody cares, but I'm just, because I know what the only reason I bring up is because when you mentioned when you first met him, how impressed you were. I always thought that JY was very underrated in terms of general perception among people as the guitar player that he really is.
Here's one. If he was in a band like that, the focus would have been on the guitar player and less on the song. You're talking about what you like, style. There's the lead singer. There's the 4-piece behind him. That dude's rocking. This guy's playing. Okay, what's the song? I don't know. I just like it. Am I simplifying? But no, because you have songs you like better than others, but you're happy. In other words, to get entree into your club, there's a $2 minimum, and that money goes to play music I like the way it sounds. If you're in, you get that minimum, you're in, you like it. Then you go, well, I like that song better than that song. Me, from Equinox forward, I said, it's not about the players, it's the song.
Yeah.
You're in a band and Styx, this is what I always push for. Serve the song, serve the song, serve the song. We know you can play. That's why JY and Tommy maybe aren't viewed that way, because it wasn't about them.
Yeah, that's true.
It's about us.
Everything was all about the song. The solos were never too lengthy. Everything was just compact and perfect. And
let me tell you,
that's one of the reasons why I always love this band. I mean, that's what it comes down to.
Boom, boom, boom. We're all on the same mission.
There you go.
Okay, want to play fast notes? Great. Did they make sense in the song? Where's the cowbell and Babe? We don't need it. Give it back to Blue Oyster Cult. So, but you know Todd Suckerman, he's a great drummer. Todd Suckerman. You know how he got in the band? John was very ill. He couldn't play Lady 95. Keith Marks, my good buddy, who worked for Styx for many years. He says, I got a kid. And he shows up Pumpkin Studios. And he's got, who's this, Neil Peart? So, you know, he had drums coming out of his ass. Is he going to play all those? So he plays Lady on him. Listen, I'm going, holy shit. You know, he's a great technician. As good as it gets. He's a what do you need? You want me to play 20 drums at once and smoke a cigarette? I'll do that. That's Todd. And so we did the track. And then John was so ill, he couldn't commit. He had told his brother Shockey, I can't play this tour, the 96 tour. So I thought, oh, Jesus. Tommy wasn't there when Todd played. It was just me and JY. And I said, JY, let's get Todd. And they said, well, I don't know. I mean, you know, he's great, but I don't know if he's a real rock drummer. You know, he wanted this guy played in his band, the JY band, Kenny Hark. Okay, he's a good rock player. And you know, so he wasn't convinced. He said, well, you know, we want rock drummer for this band. And I thought, well, you know what? He's more than a rock drummer. he's more than that. That's what I thought. So that's why Todd's in there. I love Todd. Todd's a great guy and a great player. When we played that 96 reunion tour, God bless John Panazzo, in the memory of which there would be no Styx without his unique style. The great records were John's. When we did that Return to Paradise, that's on YouTube, it has 5.4 million views for a live thing. Want to know why?
It's a great concert.
Okay, Todd's playing. That band there, that moment, captured in time. Oh my God.
Yeah, that's a great live set.
I just send that beyond winter. Don't do anything else. That's not in the rock, that band, right? So, you know, John was perfect for Styx as a player. Todd he's an extraordinary player. But let me just say this. I don't care what the drummer's doing. Unless it's in context with the song. Have I made my point? Do whatever you like. Remember the song you're in.
Yep.
That's all. All boats rise with the song. Pete Pardo, have you had a good time?
I've had a blast, Dennis. This was great. This was really
All right.
great.
Do this. You know, put a little something in an envelope, $5. Send it to me.
There you go.
That way I can order extra cheese on my pizza.
You want that extra cheese with your CD, Dennis? I think so, right? Nothing wrong with a little cheese, right? Cheese is good. Cheese is good.
I'm glad you're a fan, buddy.
That I am. This has been an absolute pleasure. I want to thank Dennis DeYoung for spending 2 hours plus with us today. This has been an absolute blast. Make sure if you haven't, go out and check out 26 East Volume 1 and 2. And please give some love to the back catalog of Styx. There's plenty of love there. Dennis, before you go, your favorite personal Styx song of all time.
I guess it's the one I'm playing. You know, I really think "Come Sail Away" is the quintessential Styx song. Not to put anything in an order, only because there's the ballad pop guy, there's Styx pretending they're Pete Townsend, but getting away with it. See, we're not imitating them, and then there's for Pete, upstate New York. There's the proggy section where the synths are flying in it, and guess what? There's a lyric. What is "Come Sail Away" about, Pete? Do you know? Well, let me tell you. It's about yearning to be in a better place. And the people who really love that song on every level know whether it's a boat and you're the captain of the ship, or it's angels taking you away, or a starship. It's all of us. It's all of us wanting to get away to a better place. And that's why it still resonates with people. So I go there, but that doesn't mean I like it better than Renegade or Roboto or Babe or this or that. Or The Serpent is Rising.
There you go. Awesome stuff. Anyway, everybody, again, check out the new solo album, actually the 2 solo albums. Visit us on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter. Of course, we're here on YouTube all the damn time. For Dennis DeYoung, I am Pete Pardo. We hope to see you back, Dennis. And I look forward to seeing you on the road, my friend. And everybody have a great night, and we'll see you real soon. Bye-bye.